defense only rely upon direct combat. So that idea of sort of just putting a gun on me and my family, I can fight back. Like, where's the
Have you actually looked at the UN resolutions?
No,
which
no,
tells
I haven't.
So that's what you need to go and look at, because you see.
But it doesn't give
And then it's like
Exactly.
Hashim was saying, international law has to be taken into consideration as well.
100%,
And
yeah.
international law is what things are going to be measured by. Is that self-defense? Is that not self-defense?
Because next you'll be asking me what is arms resistance. You see what I mean?
That's why we
Yeah,
are
exactly.
asking that. Yeah.
What do you need to do instead of you asking us? Ask the people. Listen.
Yeah, sorry.
Ask the people who actually stated this as a law, which is the United Nations.
But you're using it in the discussion and you're
So
not
I'm
defining
using
the application.
No, you asking for specifics.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Specifics is
That's
what we
what
have to
we
look at.
If you're looking, wait. If somebody tells you arms resistance is allowed, what do you think? No, wait. Just answer the question. When somebody tells you arms resistance is permitted, what do you understand?
They can take guns and they can fight.
Good.
Okay,
now
fantastic.
wait. Give me specifics.
Let me ask you a
No.
question.
Give me specifics.
And let me ask you a question.
You see, I'm turning the table on them.
But there's a reason why we're probing
No,
the
but
specifics.
if you're
Because we're
going
trying to-
generic, then we can answer quite
Let me ask
easily.
you a question.
But then when you start saying specifics, then you need to ask the
Yeah.
people who
give
actually
you
postulated
examples.
the law.
Yeah.
Which is the UN.
The reason
the
why.
UN.
I can give you examples if you
You can
want.
what? You can give me what?
Examples.
Examples.
Listen, if we say, for
I think the
example,
question is, what would Jesus do?
if we say, for
I think it's a valid
example,
question.
Turn the other cheek?
I'm also just
No.
curious, even Islamically, or what you guys posted. I think that's
It won't be
interesting
turned
as
the
well.
let me say one thing.
Go ahead.
If we're in a situation where the UN says, international law says, you are not supposed to be bombing hospitals because they are considered protected infrastructure in a country. And I'm saying, and I as a country have started to bomb hospitals. We can say this country on this war started to bomb hospital infrastructure.
Yeah.
That is wrong by international law. We can be given an actual case study example, and we can all agree. So we're not asking
Because that
you-
would be a war crime.
if you want, that's fine.
But then there is,
And-
but
wait,
then it's
let me
nuanced
let me
in the
just say-
sense
let me
that
just say
there are
quick.
certain
Let me just say
conditions.
quick.
If
So
those
when we
apply,
ask
then
you-
it won't be a war.
When we ask you, what does proper armed resistance look like in Gaza and West Bank? What does the correct use of that right look like?
We'd have to look at
That's
international
what I'm
law.
asking.
We'd have to look at
And that's why
international
I
law
told
to
you,
find
That's
out.
all right.
when you're asking specifics, then you
I
need
just
to
gave you an
ask.
example of that.
Then you need to ask the people who postulated. the
I don't know
law, not
international
us.
law, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't postulate it.
I'd have to look into that.
For example,
That's
look,
fair.
there,
You don't know, that's not a problem.
there are clear statements as to what constitutes a war crime. Yes, right now, many of the things what Israel is doing would be constituted as a war crime.
Yeah.
But the question is this: who would implement it when every time it goes to the UN,
Yeah.
it's been vetoed?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we are actually, all the questions that we're asking here,
slightly
for the sake of
abstract.
justice, is irrelevant. Because none of what we think is justice will be applicable,
Yeah.
because every time we bring the culprit to justice, he is set free automatically by this, powers to be.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, because Palestine is recognised as a state a lot of the time, they're not.
By a few countries.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
recognized by many
no,
countries.
but what I mean is,
as a
like in terms
legitimate
like on the UN, when they then say, okay, when they're bringing it into their considerations of justice, they then don't allocate it properly because they've missed that.
Do you remember during the Oslo Accords when they were actually working towards a two-state solution?
Yeah.
Yes? Their Prime Minister, Yitzhak Rabin, was assassinated by a Jew. Yes? Not by a Palestinian.
Yeah.
Why was that? Because I don't think they want peace. I don't think they do.
And you see, and
I think the only thing that will satisfy them is only if all the Palestinians vacated that country, which they consider to be theirs.
what we can do.
Because remember, it was the Canaanites who are actually, many of the Palestinians are the descendants of the Canaanites. And according to even your Bible, it says that Israelis actually oppressed them to the extent where, and this is recently, like Netanyahu used the Amalekites as the example. I mean, the Amalekites were wiped out because God told the Israelis to completely annihilate them. The men, women, children, and even the livestock was not to be spared.
Children, babies.
Yes? So this was, according to them, the command from their God. Genocide an entire
That's
population.
not going to happen. Gaza's not.
Well, it happened to the Amalekites, did it not?
No.
And the justification for them is the Bible.
Finish your point.
The justification was, well, if you let me finish, I'll finish the point. The justification for them was, again, this is what God told us. See what I mean? So they can always go back to the Bible to justify any genocide, any oppression, or any massacre, or even the babies.
I take issue with the.
This is 1 Samuel 15. saying.
Yeah, I know.
But it's okay because you haven't applied genocide to this current Gaza conflict, so I'm not going to attribute that to you. But I do take.
Do you not think it's
No,
genocide?
it's not genocide.
So who are the Palestinians? It is a particular community who is being wiped out, and just because they happen to be in that place, just like the Amalekites.
Hold on 1 second. So I wouldn't describe the 10,000 or so estimated casualties as genocide, because the term genocide.
But we're not justified it, we're just saying technically.
I'm saying it's not genocide. The army. Wait. How many have died in Yemen? Where is your outrage?
Wait, finish your point.
Wait. Where is your outrage?
A lot of Muslims have
Finish your point.
I'm going to finish my point.
atrocities every day.
Armenian genocide. Okay, 1 to 2 million Armenians killed by the Ottomans in 1918. That is a legitimate genocide. That happened. They tried to literally destroy the entire nation without any recourse. What is happening right now?
Why is that a genocide and not this? Also, it is a number. Where do you get a definition of genocide based on numbers?
And the intention of the Ottomans was to wipe out the entire race of Armenians.
Based on many of the politicians in Israel, is to wipe out the Palestinians.
That's not happening. That is.
So wait. I'm using your definition. I'm using your definition of intention.
Yeah, okay, but would you
This
agree?
isn't a genocide. And I'm
Official
stubborn,
statement.
it's not a genocide.
They're
But they
not
have
saying.
made it
But this is
clear
a
in the
conflict. It's an
intention.
issue.
Okay, now, here the other side of the argument, yeah? Here the other side of the argument. You've got like about 2.2 million people in Gaza, yeah? Living in Gaza. Now suddenly, that 2.2 million has been told to come south. If you don't come south, you're going to be blown into smithereens. Yeah, which is illegal. Now in the south, documentation has come out. Yeah, documentation has come out that okay, our intention is actually to shift them to tents in Egypt. Yeah, this has actually come from Sinai. So now when that's being said, on the one hand that's the intention. On the other hand, it's like, you know what? They're slowly going to encroach in the north. Then you've got this 2.2 million in a little tight land, and they're not allowed to go in and out to such a degree. So to go further, even the Scottish First Minister's mother-in-law, yeah, even she wasn't allowed to leave. She was crying on camera. And people are like, look, what is this going on? To some people, that was the first time they even kind of understood what was going on. And this population now, there's bombs being dropped on this population. There are hospitals that are being indiscriminately attacked. Every day, we're seeing different news stations showing us decapitated babies. Now, and then further, you have people that are into genocide studies. Yeah, that's why, with respect, when you're saying I don't think it's a genocide, yeah, with respect, I don't really care about your opinion. No. Sam, let me be consistent, otherwise you're going to get offended.
You know what? I'm going to let you speak.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying that, because if you just cut me halfway, then it's going to be like, yeah, I don't care about your opinion. In that regard, just like you shouldn't care about my opinion in this regard. Let's take the opinion of the people that are experts in the field of genocide, and they are in their droves, yeah, unanimously pretty much agreeing that this is a genocide taking place, and or this is coming up to a genocide. Regardless, but the word genocide is definitely on the table. For us to say, to take it off completely, I think that's a bit unfair.
Can I quickly come in?
I need to say
And if you have the Israeli,
10 seconds.
if you have Israeli politicians saying they are animals, they should all be killed, they're openly saying this, not hidden.
And that's a very good point.
Yeah.
He's saying
Openly.
flatten Gaza, you know, they're all human animals, dehumanizing them, you know, make it zero, don't let anyone survive. That's, I just wanted to add one more.
So just to say, okay, so there's a difference between official statements and then like statements they have also made. So I think Israel's official statement, they wouldn't want to officially say we're trying to wipe out Gaza, right? Even if they are trying to do that.
So you're saying
the official statement has been made.
I'm saying
so when a
it
politician
could be a
makes a statement,
genocide.
is that not official?
No, not necessarily.
Why?
Because a politician could be caught off camera, not realizing they're on camera.
No, they're saying this.
Yeah, it was on camera.
It's in the cabinet.
I need to see that. Okay, but all I'm saying is, I'm willing I'm willing to fully accept that it could be a
No, but that was his
Wait,
criteria.
wait. I'm willing to accept that it could be a genocide. I need to just look at. I just need to look at technical definitions. I'm not.
Without researching your
Hashim,
video.
I'm trying to make a point. And
You're concluded without research.
My ambiguity over whether it's a genocide or not isn't because I'm in any doubt that it's a genocide or any doubt that the numbers are insanely high. I just need to look at.
That's fine, no problem.
Yeah,
At least I respect that.
Yeah. The other thing is, I got about 10 minutes late for church, so I just want to quickly finish with this.
Sure.
One, I think we agree more than we disagree, 100%. And I actually,
I agree.
Part of the reason I wanted to do this here at Speaker Scholar is because it's one of those things where Muslims and Christians hopefully can actually, like, we disagree on like faith issues a lot, but on this issue it's so abundantly clear that we can agree on this as a matter of justice. That's what is really encouraging to see. I think from
Your statements have been very encouraging as well.
I think from me and Sam's perspective, the idea.
And Sam's as well, of course.
The thing is that we want to say, okay, let's be consistent in condemning both sides, and let's say, okay, we're willing to acknowledge also one side's longer, more extreme, greater levels of injustice, but it doesn't mean that we can't not also condemn the other side. And when I, for example, want to condemn aspects of Hamas, not from an armchair, not pretending like if I wasn't in their position, I wouldn't do the same thing. I might do. If I was oppressed for years and years and years, had family killed, I would be exceedingly angry and wanting to take a loss, right? I don't pretend otherwise. 100%. But from just a purely rational, consistent position, I have to say, some things they're doing are definitely unjust, and also not helping the Palestinian people. And if we want to move forward, we've got to say, okay, this thing's wrong on both sides, and what can we do?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, condemnation is clear. Look, when you read the Quran, it says that anyone who kills someone unjustly, yes, killing innocent is something as if you've killed the whole of mankind. Now, this killing babies in any context is wrong, regardless of who does it. And this is something that the Muslims have consistently said, whether on TV, off TV, online, offline, all the time. But when when a people, sometimes you have to understand their psychological state, which you correctly alluded to just now. Yes? When you are being consistently bombed and your generations so right now, you know what Israel is doing? Indiscriminate bombing of the people. I'm pretty sure what Hamas did now, maybe in the future you'll have people who are doing worse. Why? Because they saw it in front of their own eyes what happened to their women and children.
I think
it's not helping anyone. It's not helping the future generation. In particular, when you start bombing children indiscriminately, it will not stop the vicious cycle of violence. It'll only make it worse in the future.
One thing interesting as well, and I think Elon Musk said this as well actually, like, forget morality, just pure strategy, even from Israel's perspective. If for every one Hamas soldier you kill, you end up creating two more because they're
not 100 to 1 ratio.
Exactly, because they're so fed up with the injustices,
100 to 1 ratio.
then you're still not creating a sustainable solution. But anyway, I just want to finish with that.
But hey, another point that I wanted to mention was that, when you make Hamas the center of what's going on, I think that,
which I wouldn't, by the way.
I'm not saying,
just in this
I'm not
generally,
saying
I'll put Israel at the center.
I think that's a gross injustice, because what's happening is that here is a group that something happened, news is coming out, oh, there's 40 beheaded babies, then it gets proved to be false. Oh, this happened at the rave, oh, that's not necessarily the case. So again, at the moment, it's the heat of conflict. We can't say that this is certain, that's not certain, but there are certain peer-reviewed cases, where, like Operation Cast Lead, Operation Protective Edge, these are peer-reviewed case studies of Israeli oppression that no one can say, you know what, there's difference of opinion, there's this, there's that. Those are case studies that are used by academics.
We condemn them when they do evil.
And that's why I'm saying, look, what I'm saying is at this moment in time, things are very up in the air. So for us to make categorical statements and said, no, they've done this, oh, okay, where have you got that from? Oh, we've got that from Israel. But again, the sources are dubious, and that should also be allowed. Questioning of the sources, that's what I'm saying. That the situation goes back and back and back. But if there's, indiscriminate, committing of war crimes by anyone, that of course needs to be condemned. Thank you, my friend.
All right, look, take care. Thanks for that.
Free Palestine, God bless guys. Take care.
Is there anything else you want to say in terms of...
No.
We just want to say free Palestine. Take care, mate.
Take care, yeah.